Good evening, everybody. I'm hoping that I'm going to get this out on Friday. It is Friday. It's been a tough old week. I've got my glasses on, mostly to hide my eyes, so I'm really tired. And I have been really excited to bring this video to you. It's not about beer reviewer. It's not about chatting too much about beer. It's more about the Instagram page, the _Spencer_arms, and also Ale and Audio Pub Shed and Podcast. So if you're not familiar with these guys, they have a YouTube channel as well. Don't worry, I'll tag everything in there. They do a podcast each week, and I got a message from Jimbo, who is the main man, if they could feature the Spencer Arms as their home bar of the week. They do one each week, and on the Instagram page, we all follow each other. There's so many home bars out there. It's absolutely unbelievable. And it's just been so great having this home bar here. It's just opened up a world of joy. And so to get a message to say that they want to feature us in this week's podcast was overwhelming. It was fantastic. It was really good. And I listened to it today, and not only was it joyful to listen to the podcast and hear them speak about us, and especially Dave at the Hardy Arms, which incidentally is the _Hardy_arms. So we're like brothers, and we come from sort of like Leicestershire. So it was really funny because we were sort of guessing where we were from, because we did put a little home sweet home tag that said we were Stratford upon Avon. I think we might have actually been in Stratford upon Avon. I think come home and we were sat having a beer or something, and I just put it. I don't know where that tag came from, but anyway, we are in. And if anybody's followed us on YouTube, you've seen me do the Tap and Barrel in Wigston on tour. We are based in Wigston in Leicester. So I'm really looking forward to probably getting together with Dave from the Hardy Arms and having a beer with him at some point, getting him round here and having a chat. Well, anyway, what Dave spoke about today, and I've got one in the fridge. He talked about because he does well. You'll have to listen to the podcast. You'll have to follow Ale and Audio on Instagram, and they've got a web page and everything. I'll put all the links in here. But yeah, he talked about the North Brewing Co. And I've just happened to find this in the fridge, and about the Advent calendar. And if you're a new member on that web page, you can get 30% off of the Advent calendar. It looks really good. So it only seems fair to open this, seeing as they spoke about it, open this, which apparently is a tribute to Sierra Nevada, the most classic of all American pale ales. So it's not about reviewing this beer. It's just I'm having a beer while I'm talking to you. But anyway, so we were featured on there today, and he's mentioned the YouTube channel, and we've rapidly gone up a few digits to 196 subscribers. And I am like so thankful of that. The Instagram page had some more followers. I'm sure as people listen to the podcast as well, we will get even more. But trust me, go to their Instagram page, check out the podcast. It's on Spotify. So if you download Spotify, you don't have to do the premium. You just miss out on the music, because he does music and it's really good. And they do a thing, I've had to write it down here just so I get it right. Song Request Courtroom. It's absolute entertaining. It really is. I was mesmerised with it. So what they do is we throw in song requests. They play the songs, and then they have a judge and a jury. So then the jury, you can be on the jury and you can rate the songs. You can go through it and sort of rate the songs, I believe. It's all the information is on the webpage. And then the judge, it was Judge Peggy today. So I think there's 4 different judges, and then they give their score and talk about the song. And I kid you not, it was so interesting. But yeah, so they play a song, talk about the song, history of the song, and it ranges literally from the Everly Brothers to the Prodigy. You know, it was really captivating, brilliant. They do a quiz on there. They talk about all sorts of different things, and it really was a real fun thing to have my earpods in today whilst I was at work, and it was absolutely great to listen to that. Cheers, everybody. Let's see if this has got some sort of tribute to Sierra Nevada. Oh, I'll tell you what I do like about it. There's some junk in there. Oh, there's some junk in there. Not that's because I've had this for like 5 years or something. I don't know. No, 2024. So it's actually got a bit of probably yeasty goodness in there, or a few bits of old bits of unfiltered goodness going on. Anyway, like I say, this is quite nice actually, and I will get one of these and I will review it. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and do this, and just to mention that there is a video on the YouTube channel where we do a bit of a tour, but they really did mention and really liked the barrel bar. Now, the barrel bar and the writing above they mention, the writing above on the beam was done by my daughter. She does all the decal, and she does that, so I will tag her in this as well. The actual bar itself was made like from a whiskey cask, a barrel, and I took the rings off, and then I actually watched a program about barrels and how to restore them and things like that, because obviously even though I'm a carpenter and that, I still want to see professionals who have restored these barrels. And this guy, literally, it's brilliant. Search for it on YouTube. He takes the rings off, which basically hold the barrel together, and it just all collapses on the floor. Now, I'd been looking for inspiration to do the bar. I've been searching pub shed bars, home bar bars, and and I wanted to do something unique. I just didn't want to copy. In the end, I was going to build this cabin from scratch, but the price of the materials after COVID and all that was just ridiculous. So this is a Dunster house cabin. And honest to God, I looked at the price of this cabin on their website, and I went past that price in materials very quickly. So they're making loads and loads and loads of these, and they are keeping the prices reasonable. So I can highly recommend the Dunster house for this log cabin. It is the 45 mil thick one, and at the time you got the felt shingles, but then I did some modifications on it. I've done some lead work on it, and I've done a better fascia, so well actually because it's pitch barge board, but I've done some better sort of joinery details on it to make it a bit more weathery, because a typical shed will have the roof start with a felt, and then you'll have like a bit on the side there, and you've got a water trap. So I've sort of like done a bit of lead work around there. I'll try and find some photos and stick in this video. But yeah, so I highly recommend them. And then I just built everything there. So all this behind me, literally, I found a place from a friend who do brand new scaffold planks. And so we took the van over, I think it was Northampton way, or beginning with N, Nottingham, could have been Nottingham or Northampton, one of the two. And we rustled up 20 boards. And then literally in the garage up there with my sort of flip over saw and things, I ripped all the timber down, planed it and sorted it and made all this lot out of scaffold board. So I ripped all these, you have to excuse before it's a bit croaky, the frontage from there, and ripped it, planed it and sanded it and made this. The mirrors that we've got stuck on, we've got to redo them because they actually are falling down at the moment. The sticky bits weren't very good. And then the barrel bar, like I say, back to the guy dropping the planks, the barrel, it just all fell apart. And then what he did is then rebuilt it all back up, and it just all slotted together. But what the rings do when you give them a good whack, they pull everything together. The actual oak that makes up the barrel springs when you take it to bits. So when I took the barrel to bits, you could put the wood would be all sort of like nice as it went round with the rings around it, but when you took them to bits, you could put one piece of wood side by side and it'd be totally a different round, a different shape, because the springs, the springiness had done, the oak was doing what it wanted to do. So then I made the bar out of stud in and put a plywood round it to make the curve. And then I had to fit each and every individual little piece of the barrel around. They're not designed to go in a straight line, so they're designed to go in a curve like that. So they are actually tapered like that. So for them to sit together, they were just sort of doing that, rocking. So I had to scribe every single one. So what I did is I put one there, scribe the next one to it, scribe the next one to it, and so forth. And I also had to plane the front off them to get them to sort of line up around the front. So that wasn't too bad, that was okay. But then I wanted to have the rings, the metal rings that go around the bar. Now, unfortunately with that, excuse me, cheers. This is very good. This is very good. Unfortunately with that, when you cut the ring in half to try and make it go all the way around the bar, the ring, because it's going around a barrel, but also around a barrel that's like that, the actual metal is like that, and it's also going in a circle. So when you cut it and you roll it out, it makes a big smiley face. But a smiley face that way, and also slightly that way. So to get it to bend around this bar straight is near on an impossibility. So I had to sort of, I was determined to do it, but it's very kinked and whatever. But I wanted to actually put all the rings on, but then I decided not to. Because people might catch their knees on it or anything like that. You know, women will sit there with their legs crossed. I didn't want them to catch their ankles on it or whatever. Sometimes I sit there with my legs crossed, you know, playing on my feminine side, you know, just chilling out. And yeah, so I had to literally bend it a bit, drill it out and put lots of little screws in all the way around to manipulate it, bend it, just cut it a little bit, move it. It was tricky. So I done that top and bottom. I also put the, as you can see, the bung in as well. I then gave it many coats of varnish. Very proud of it. The bar top, I sort of run scaffold planks this way, scaffold planks that way, and then I made a fan. I set it out like a dartboard. So it's almost essentially, if you look at the dartboard there, it's almost essentially like the wedges to go around the corner. So I made like basically wedges of wood. Like that, and then I biscuited them all together, glued them all up. I'll integrate some photos in this, but I'm sure if you look at the Spencer Arms tour on the YouTube channel, I have gone into a little bit of depth on that, but I'm not sure how deep. It was a long while ago. Put it all together, and I just love the fact you've got the straight grain there and the straight grain there, and then everything fans up, so you got the end grain on the end, so you get that darkness out the end grain, inside and out. Janie loves it. It's remained, considering there were scaffold planks and they were they're stacked outside, so I left them to dry out for a little bit. It has remained fairly stable and it's remained really good. But I get a lot of comments on that, the barrel bar, and I really hope that if you're watching this and you would like to do a barrel bar yourself, I'm proud of it because I don't think it's really been done anywhere else. I don't think there's any other home bars, and Jimbo did mention that it's quite unique. But if you need any advice or you fancy doing it yourself, you know, the barrels are readily available. And what the joyous thing is as well is when you're planing them, I know what oak smells like, but when you plane them, you smell the booze in the shavings and such like. So it was really interesting to make this bar. And then over there, I'll put a picture in as I'm chatting. Out of scaffold planks again, and also some plywood to make the panel looking. I made like a bench seat, almost like you'd get in a caravan. And then underneath that, there's lids that come off and there's storage underneath there. I've actually got the perfect draft underneath there. I've not used that for a long time. I suppose with having the craft beers, I should have probably got it out for Oktoberfest and had like one of the big tins on there, but I'm just dangerous. If I have a 6 litre barrel, that when I put some of the 5 litre mini kegs on here, the cask versions, and I've got this. There's another video about this. It's a really good vertical extractor, and use the hand pull. So I've done the old original on that. It's mint. But but I'll have the full 5 litres of it of an afternoon, evening, so it does get a bit dangerous. So yeah, so everything, the shelf over there under the TV, absolutely everything. The shelf that the lighthouse is on, everything is made from scaffold planks. So yeah, so the lighthouse was mentioned as well in the podcast, but I had to answer the questions very quickly because Jimbo had sent me a message to say, we'd like to feature you. Can you answer these questions? And I didn't see it until, later on. So I quickly answered the questions and he managed to get it in there before he'd finished recording, which was fantastic. The one thing I do have to say, and I've got to really say this, there is pictures on there what appeared like us having a Glastonbury concert out here. That was actually my friend's house, the Olivers, as they know. They do a thing called Garden Glasgow. It's been going for, I think they've done their 10-year anniversary. They have uppermost of over 200 people in there. It's very private and exclusive, but like if you know, so say for instance next year, if me and Dave from the Hardy Arms have a few berries in Leicestershire or whatever, then I could take him there as a friend, you know what I mean? So it's exclusive because they just don't want randoms turning up. But yeah, they'll have 200 odd people there, really great bands. I mean, we are talking like high profile bands there. They've got a garden big enough for people to camp there. It is absolutely outrageously good, and they raise money for Edgar's Gift. Which basically gives families that are going through some troubled times, you don't have to search them, I'll try and put the link in there, holidays, basically. It's a lovely charity, it's a really great, I've played there a few times. It's a really great charity. So yeah, I can't take any credit for that. But outside here, we have done parties. We've had 50 people in here. I've had a PA set up. We've done live gigs. We've done live. We did in lockdown. We did a live open mic from the garden, and all the neighbours. So even though it was going over Facebook at the time, it was going out full audio using a Focusrite, I think it was called, which and my desk. And it just put all the audio out my desk out there. So it's full audio, but also I could set my speakers up here. So not only was it going out to the Facebook world, I don't do Facebook anymore. It was also going out in the garden to all my neighbours, and all my neighbours all round were loving it. And we had different people playing, and the guy across the back here who's building a humongous man cave, he's got a gym in it and everything, brilliant. I mentioned to him, we're just having a party in the garden. It's going to be like, you doing live music? Yeah, fantastic. I love it. So everybody loves it. We ain't done it for a while. So this summer we're doing some work at the house. So it's had to go on the back burner. But I'm sure once we get more into it, we'll do another big party out there. So yeah, losing my trail of thought. So Airland Audio. With Jimbo. There is also Andy Dunn 83. So Andy Dunn 83 on Instagram, and he's the landlord of the Dunn Inn. And I tell you what, when I read that, I don't think he's actually got the Dunn Inn on Instagram. I'm not sure. This is a very quick video to thank them all and everything else. But Andy Dunn 83. He's like a bit of a beer expert as well, from what I've just seen. So check him out on Instagram, Andy Dunn. DUNN 83. I'll put it all in this. So yeah, the Dunn Inn. That's pretty much how I feel today, I must admit. We're going to London tomorrow. So yeah, so it's Jimbo, Andy Dunn, and Dave Hardy from the Hardy Arms. Absolutely brilliant. The three of them are just they just work so well together, and there's so many things you can listen to, like, I don't know, probably this video that you want to fast forward, but no. I put my pods in today, and whilst I was working, I've just been doing stuff that I didn't even have to really think about too much. I was just listening, fully engaged, fully entertained, really good conversation. It is really, really captivating. So please go on Spotify and check out Airland Audio. You won't go wrong. Give them a 5-star review as well. It's worth it. Even if they do a little intro at the start, which is quite good as well, like a little sort of acoustic intro. And yeah, but it's packed full of stuff. To be honest with you, I enjoyed listening to it today, the mainstream radio. By far, it was great. So I'll pop all that in. So basically, yeah, this has just been a bit of a different video. To really just almost like use YouTube to promote the Instagram page, because we did, like Dave said, we did used to be a private Instagram page, and I never really, after my experience with social media, I completely like got out of it, and then I didn't really want to get back into it because, you know, it can be sort of like a Tetris place to be. But then when we done this cabin, when we done this pub, we had friends around here, we had family around here. We've got a community of beer drinkers that we all sort of like know. The Tap and Barrel in Wigston. I've not been actually out there for a while, and then what I'll do is I'll put a music gig on there for free, and we'll have a big part and a celebration, I'll have a few guest rounds. But I've just been a little bit wrapped up in ourselves doing what we do. We've not really been there, but they're all such lovely people and they understand. But yeah, we've got this community, so we've had parties here, we've had friends round, we've got some friends coming they want to host their 50th birthday here, some friends. So we're like, yeah, we're going to decorate it all up. I'm going to sing for them. They want me to sing for them, you know. But I'm not going to sing too loud because I want to party, I want to drink. But yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. So I thought, you know, so I set up the Speno Arms Instagram page, basically just so I could advertise something on, and it just goes out to them. So they know where we live, when to come. Like, party at the Spencer Arms, Friday the such and such. Be there, be square. Put your comments in the thing if you want to come, whatever. And I know that it's just not going out to a general public. You know, we've all heard about it in there, like on Facebook, where you go party at whatever, and then 20,000 people come and completely crash. We've heard of them things. So, but then after a while, I just thought, I'd had a few friends requests, and like with Dave, and I felt really bad when people are requesting to follow you, and you don't, because we really only want to like be following pub sheds and beer people or whatever. So we are going to have obviously just friends that are going to follow us. That, you know, like Jane says, I ain't got to explain myself, but we don't even follow friends back on this channel, on the Speno Arms channel, because we've got personal Instagram for that, but they like to watch what we're doing because they come here or whatever. But we'll always like follow all the pubs, follow the beer reviewers, anything beer and pub related. I want to see what people are doing and such like. Yeah, so I ended up really feeling really bad, like, oh, I'm really sorry, I don't want you to follow us because this is a private account and it's just for friends and family. And after a while I thought, you know what, like, it looks a really nice place out there. And I figured out, and today has really nailed it for me, that there is an absolute wonderful community of people who have got these pub sheds, home bars, pub sheds, whatever it may be, the tiniest shed to the biggest of pubs. It's been really great for me, this has. Then I started a YouTube channel. I can be a bit silly. I've dressed up, got myself made up when I've done the Oktoberfest beers. But it's just been, like I say, it's been therapy. It's just standing here chatting, it's therapy. So yeah, and today has really uplifted me. It's lifted me. I mean, I'm happy and jolly anyway. I'm not saying I'm down and needed lifted up. What I mean is, for Friday and I just felt uplifted listening to the podcast today. And knowing that there's all these different people out there with different ideas about these pubs and things, and sharing the love, and it's a really nice community. So yeah, so this is a long video. With YouTube, you can fast forward it or whatever you want to do. Choose not to watch it. But what I'd love to do is, I'd love to share the love, which I'm doing now. So if all my subscribers or anybody that's watching this, please check out Ale and Audio, please. And if you've got a pub shed, give them a shout, and you'll probably get like featured on there. You know, they're all for spreading the love. I've even ordered a couple of t-shirts from them, so you'll see me here on a beer review wearing their merchandise, because, you know, why not? The more we talk about each other, the more we get the traffic, the more we can enjoy it, and especially with a podcast, because you know, when it's a good podcast, and it's a good one, like what the Ale and Audios is, and you've got three guys that just fit, you know what I mean? They fit together. I mean, Jimbo's from Sheffield, and I love his accent. And you know, Dave, Leicester. I'm sorry, Andy, I'm not sure where you're at, but the three sort of accents together work perfectly. It's comedy gold as well. The banter's brilliant, and yeah, it's spreading love, which we really all need, you know. We talked about tattoos today. I'll probably explain this at some point, but you know, I've had here, this arm's almost like the mindfulness, the positive sort of arm. I've got some more that I want on here. This is basically the lyrics to my songs. That's my guitar, it's my grandson's name, lyrics to my songs. They're all lyrics to my songs. It's a long story behind that, but that's another thing. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to waffle on and talk about that. So in the description, there'll be all the Instagram pages, hopefully there, and there'll be the website, which is www.aleandaudio.co.uk. There's a load of content in there. I think there's about 4 different judges that come on to do the song request courtroom. What a fantastic concept that is, where you get the judge and the jury rating the songs and talking about the songs. That's absolutely genius. And yeah, and if you haven't done so already, and you can, even if it's your shed in your back garden, clear all the junk out of it, clear it all out, go and get yourself a .365 hand pull. There you got a bar, ain't you? A shelf, clamp it to that, job done. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really would love to get to 200 subscribers. I really would. It doesn't sound a lot in the YouTube world, but for me, it's a fifth of the way to 1,000. And I know how much it meant to Mark at the Craft Beer Hub when he got to 1,000. And incidentally, I was watching Mark at the Craft Beer Hub and Crumpy Beard. They do a live Friday night at the pub, sort of a live feed. So I was watching them for beer, well, I weren't having a beer, but you know, so they do that as well on a Friday night, which is really interesting. They're experts at beer, and they talk about all the breweries and everything. They really are knowledgeable, so that's something else to watch. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the beer. Probably go to North Brewing Co. and grab that advent calendar. I mentioned it to Jane here, so I don't know. Could be coming. And just cheers and stay safe, everybody. And yeah, be good. Thanks a lot. Coming at you from Speno.